What's up, guys? John here. The CEO of Chase Bank, Jamie Dimon, just came out and said to prepare for a 3.5-day work week.
Jamie Dimon is predicting that we're going to go down to a 3.5-day work week.
Technology's always replaced jobs, and literally they'll probably be working 3.5 days a week.
Only 3.5 days a week. So going from 5 days to 3.5 for 309,926 employees. When you look at what's unfolding inside of the banking industry right now, what you're going to see is a tsunami of problems. For example, the CEO of a very successful real estate fund, RXR, they have $21.2 billion in assets. He's saying to get ready for upwards of 500 banks or more to fail inside of the next 24 months. When you start looking at what JPMorgan Chase is doing, what Citigroup is doing right now, it's shocking. It's absolutely unreal. They just laid off 20,000 employees. I mean, what they're doing, what they're getting ready for, is a complete overhaul of the U.S. economy. Everybody needs to get ready for this. Everybody needs to see clearly what's going on. JPMorgan Chase has developed an AI-driven management software that has slashed manual work by nearly 90%. This came out an hour ago. This is 507,000 views. Let's see what it's at now. 561,000. Everybody is talking about what's going on in AI. Everyone's talking about these layoffs that are coming. But the most important thing to me is what's going to happen with bank lending. How are people going to be able to make it day to day as we start to see these banks start to consolidate, and there are, a couple of big banks that are essentially running the entire country? How can small businesses get the funding they need to survive? How can Americans, get auto loans or credit cards? It's going to get harder. I'm telling you, it's going to get a lot harder. In this video, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show you exactly what they're doing to help you and position you for what I believe is going to be a new America coming very, very soon. Please hit the like button, hit the like button. YouTube, share the content, educate more people about what's going on. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item in your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session for tomorrow. So, 309,000 employees. What's happening right now is this push for the 4-day work week. So I'm going to show you this. JPMorgan Chase is AI-driven management software that has slashed manual work by nearly 90%. JPMorgan Chase has been using cash flow management software that runs on artificial intelligence, and it has reportedly slashed manual work for some of its corporate customers by almost 90%. The AI tool called Cash Flow Intelligence was launched last year to allow corporate treasuries to analyze and forecast cash flows, according to Bloomberg. It has seen tremendous interest in JPMorgan clients and the head of data and analytics at JPMorgan Chase Wholesale Payments Unit. Right. So what they're saying is that they've already set a target of $1 billion in business value just in 2023, and now it's targeted at $1.5 billion. And they say that it's about making sure that we are staying safe, sounds familiar, well controlled, and focusing on the things that add to the impact we hope to have. She said it also has the potential for significant dislocation of talent. Technological innovation is normal, and the industry will adjust. Now, what he says here is cutting back on working hours may also enable people to live to 100 and make cancer a thing of the past. This is for your health. This is for us, right? This is what is happening. It's shocking how fast this is moving. 5 hours ago, how do Metro Detroiters feel about a 4-day work week? 2 days ago, 4-day work week. 5 days ago, does a 4-day work week work? These companies trialed a 4-day work week. All AI could be to make the 4-day work week inevitable. This is all happening right now. I mean, I saw this on Yahoo Finance, a few weeks ago. There's no playbook for this. This CEO cut employee salary by 20% and implemented a 4-day work week to avoid layoffs and save a company. The question is, how do people pay their former debts and their obligations if, we go from a 5-day work week to a 4-day or a 3.5-day work week? I don't think they do. Instead, I think that we start to see a lot of people defaulting on bills and debt obligations, and we start to see who's really able to withstand this pressure. I don't think it's going to be a lot of Americans. I think a lot of Americans right now are paycheck to paycheck. When you start to look at this data, what percentage of people are paycheck to paycheck with $250,000 a year salary in 2022 is 36%. Almost 4 in 10 making $250,000 a year are paycheck to paycheck. What does that mean for people making $100,000? 80,000, 60,000, right? You start to see these chain of events that are unfolding. No doubt we're going to start to see a lot of disruption inside of the banking industry. So what Citigroup is doing is they're announcing massive plans on a $20 20,000 people layoff as corporate attacks on jobs continue into 2024. And they're doing the same exact thing that JP Chase is doing, moving the same direction. American banking giant Citigroup announces plans on Friday to lay off 20,000 people across its global workforce. These are by far the largest layoffs announced so far in 2024, which has already seen substantial job cuts as corporations use automation to eliminate whole sections of the workforce. Another 40,000 workers will be removed from Citigroup's payroll under its planned spinoff of Mexican bank Banamex. The country's second largest overall, Citigroup's workforce will decline from 240,000 to 180,000 due to the cuts, which are expected to largely take place over the next 24 months. The job cuts announced at Citigroup follows the announcement earlier in the week of hundreds of job cuts at Google and Amazon. Google also plans to restructure its ad services unit, which currently employs 30,000 people as it moves towards implementing artificial intelligence. Video game engine maker Unity has also announced 1,800 layoffs, about a quarter of its workforce, and SAG-AFTRA actors. Unity has announced a new contract allowing AI voice acting in the video game industry, threatening to eliminate significant amounts of voice work. So you're seeing AI really start to hit these industries. I think what's going to happen is I think this real estate executive is right on the money. They'll either fail or be consolidated. JP Chase is going to start consolidating tons and tons of banks. Ever since the four regional banks combined held $532 billion in assets, headlined by Silicon Valley Bank, failed March of 2023, regional banks have been under scrutiny from regulators. And given the commercial real estate industry's focus has been on banks the most exposure to the volatile sector. They own 70% of that debt. 70% of all commercial real estate debt is held by regionals. In an upcoming white paper, seen exclusively by Fortune, RXR CEO Scott Reckler described how regional banks will face a slow-moving train wreck as waves of commercial real estate loans will mature over the next 2 years. Reckler has faith that many commercial real estate owners, operators, and lenders will figure a way to overcome the challenges facing them, but he's more skeptical about regional banks. I think there's going to be 500 or fewer banks in the U.S. over the next 2 years, he said. I'm not saying they're all going to fail, but they're going to be forced into consolidation if they don't fail. They don't have a business model that's going to enable them to stand alone and be competitive and retain deposits and service customers in the way that they have. Now, I saw this video. I thought it was very, very fascinating because a lot of people, I think, are in the same exact position. And this just adds to what regional banks are going through right now. Regional banks and all banks, they make money by lending money. And if consumers are not in a position to pay back their existing debt, how can they take on more debt? For example, look at this.
Welcome back, everyone, to another Finance Friday. So this Friday, we are total $67,080.90 in credit card debt. It went up a little bit from last week. You guys, the interest is what kills me. I get charged like $400 in interest a week. That's what I'm paying. It's crazy.
$400 a week. So he's probably making the minimum payments, right? So if he, and I took this right from his statement, $67,080.90, right? $67,080.90 at 28.5% interest rate, which, believe it or not, that's almost normal now. And a $1,600 monthly payment, the interest alone would be $304,872, and it would take 19 years and 5 months to pay that off. If he were able to increase those payments to say $1,800 or $1,900, he'd be able to, get it only down to $80,000 in interest. But paying almost $2,000 a month, how many people can afford to do that? What we're going to start to see is a wave of problems that are going to be impacting Americans. Like, look at this. I saw this as well. His father is looking to buy food for his family. And look at the food that he bought. Nothing special, nothing organic. It's just all basic food, the cheapest stuff he could find. And what he said was,
breakfast, lunch, and dinner for all of us. And $123 is going to get me through the next 2 days.
$123 for the next 2 days, just the cheapest stuff he could find in the store, right? So you start to look at what's actually happening here, and you see the chain of events with credit card delinquencies, auto loan delinquencies, commercial real estate delinquencies that are all hitting the fan in the next 24 to 36 months, 12 to 36 months. We're going to start seeing this avalanche of debt, avalanche of problems that are going to be impacting, I believe, a lot of Americans. I think that what we're going to start to see here is those that are prepared with cash, with good credit, stable income, a really, really good job or a good business that is going to be able to stand the test of time over the next couple of years, because we're going to start to see a lot of layoffs. Without doubt, if JP Morgan Chase is talking about a 3.5-day work week, I can almost promise you, every fast food restaurant, every retail company, every business is going to look for ways in which they can cut costs to try to ride through the storm. And with AI and automation, I mean, they're going to be able to basically cut costs dramatically, almost to zero, right? So they're going to be able to upfront, offload some of these expenses initially, write them off their income on their taxes, and then they're going to be able to drive down their overall expenses over time to, to almost zero or pretty close to it in relation to human labor, because human labor is $20, $25 an hour for basic labor in most cities these days. So you start to look at what's going on. It's the greatest rug pull of all time. It's the greatest wealth transfer in American history. We're in it right now. And JP Morgan Chase, they're telling us clearly. 67-year-old whose net worth is pegged at $2.4 billion says AI is critical to our company's future success. Even so, the masterminds behind AI, including Elon and Sam Altman, have voiced concerns that the tech development could have dire consequences on the human race. Last year, Musk endorsed a 6-month pause on AI research, separately warning that there's a non-zero chance that AI could go Terminator. Altman, a self-admitted doomsday prepper who once bragged about his stash of that gun, gold, and other survival goods, also warned that AI poses a risk of existential and extinction to humanity, on par with these weapons and this, right? So you start to look at this situation. Am I saying that, what they are saying is going to happen? No, I'm saying at the bare minimum, we are going to start to see so many layoffs and so much consolidation of banks. I mean, it's going to be unbelievable. And on top of that, the BTFP program, the Bank Term Funding Program, gets pulled March 11th in 5 days. And this is the lifeline, this is the lifeblood of these regional banks to help them stay in business. When they lose this life support, how do they stay in business, right? None of it's going to hold up, I don't think. What do you believe? Drop below, let's have a conversation about this. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for the greatest wealth transfer in American history, I believe banks are going to start to greatly tighten up credit in a very, very, very big way. So if you have bad credit or your credit's not where it should be, go to GreatCreditFast.com or click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session for tomorrow. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any issue at all on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link just below this video, and I'll see you in the next video.